Hey everybody, Pandi here. Hey everybody, Pandi here.
Okay, duh. Might help if I unmute myself. How is everybody? Hey, Primpin' Ain't Easy TV. How is everyone this evening? Oh, this is gonna be like a quickie but goodie. I just want to us to all talk about emergency preparedness. See kind of like what everybody is doing to make sure that we're all prepared in the event something like what happens in Texas happens again. Ooh, I cannot hear y'all. Anywho, and I got some information. As you can see, there's some information there pinned up in the comments. They have a wealth of free information as far as emergency preparedness, shelters, financial assistance, things of that sort. Because I have talked to several people who are in Texas who have been impacted. You know, they had the issue where people were getting like $4,000, $5,000 light bills. Is crazy. Then also because I'm here in South Carolina, but I come from Seattle, Washington, so I know what to do in an earthquake. I had no clue what to do in a hurricane. So Hi, Jaden, sir. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. So we're just gonna have a quick, common sense conversation, I guess you will, and just kind of talk amongst ourselves because somebody may have an idea that works better than others or may benefit the next man, so forth and so forth. And then I'm thinking we may drop the link for a little bit, but I do have some information. So this is just kind of like an information share. And I don't know how people go live back to back every day of the week because this is my second day. And I've only been home for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I was just moderating and I dropped the link live and then I had to hurry up and cook. And now I'm in here with y'all. And then I'm also trying to communicate with my daughter, y'all, who is now stranded. She's on her way back here to visit, and she's stuck in Dallas right now. Her flight is on a layover. Not sure if it has anything to do with what's going on there, but a lot going on, so I do apologize. You remember what I said yesterday? Good. So then we don't need to talk about it no more, Jaden. Right, Jaden? We don't need to even discuss it. Hi, Tracy Herbert. Welcome in. So, really quick, y'all, let me get off the screen because I'm looking kind of rough. So, as y'all can see, look, I tried to come with some tools. Okay? I came with some tools. Thank you guys so very much for coming out and supporting tonight. Um, I see you guys are putting some wonderful information in the chat. I seen somebody said, I think it was Swarthy, she stays ready with her bag. Good idea. Thank you for being here, Barry Johnson, Jaden Sub, Prepping and Easy, Tracy Herbert. Thank you all so very much for being here. Um, this, like I said, it came on my heart because I did talk to a lot of people who were very negatively impacted and affected. Some people that I spoke with actually were without power and running water for as much as 5 days. And I just think about the last hurricane that hit here in South Carolina. What was it? 2 years ago, I want to say. And, my husband he's born and raised here. So he was like, oh, we can sit here and ride out. But, the panic set in for me because I'm from Seattle. I'm like, I'm not staying here and swept up in a hurricane. I just had no idea, like, you know, what to expect. So, needless to say, we decided we were going to hit the road and go further upstate, like towards North Carolina, because based on all the charts, it was supposed to hit our area worse. So, before we left, our power was out. We end up going like several hundred miles away to get a hotel. We spent all this money. We drove all that way. And then when we got all the way up there to the hotel's power was out. So you think they cared to give us a refund? Absolutely not. And what was so inconvenient about the whole situation, they had like a small generator down at the front desk so they could keep checking people in. That was the only area of the hotel that had power. So it was a nightmare. But it came to me because of what recently happened in Texas. And then because of my own feeling of ill preparedness, like I was literally trying to run to the store at the last minute, grab perishables, water, flashlights, and of course, everybody and their mama was making the mad dash, so I had to stand in line forever. The gas lines were outrageous. Several gas stations were closing because they were like, we have no more gas. Like everybody was in panic mode. So this is thought, you know what? We have these YouTube platforms, and I know for the most part, I'm kind of like a fun channel. I do a lot of different things over here. I talk about hair, wigs, beauty, wellness. We play games over here. We do drop the link. Why not have this important conversation? Because it may be someone out there like me, Pandi, who really does need that refresher on what it is that I need to be doing, or each time I run to the store, I can pick up a couple extra things. I'm always at the Dollar Tree because everything's a dollar. There are so many things. Thank you about the charts, Worthy. I thought it was great too. I found a couple different charts, but a lot of these items on these charts you can find at your Dollar Tree, you guys. They have flashlights, they have band aids and peroxide and antibacterial ointment, they have batteries, they have water and little non perishable items. So I just think it's important for us to, kind of have a little conversation, share a little bit of information amongst one another, especially for those of us who do live in areas that are prone to natural disaster. Like here in Charleston, South Carolina, I didn't realize that we're several thousand feet beneath sea level, so that spooked the out of me because, like I said, I'm from the north area, way up Pacific Northwest. So this was a whole adjustment for me. I'm like, I work in the heart of downtown. I'm surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean and several islands, literally. I take like 3 to 4 bridges to get home across intercoastal ocean water every day. So when it rains here, it often floods. There's been times that I've come outside from work and it's been 2 to 3 feet of water flowing down the street like a rapid river. And I just realized, when I was watching all this stuff with the Texas situation, like, we really are not prepared. We really are not prepared. So this is why I thought this would be a good topic to have this particular conversation. I got a couple different lists. I liked this one here that I'm sharing now because it breaks it down to consumables, like what you would literally need to survive 3 days. When we left to go to that hotel, our power was out for 4 days. Like cable, the lights, water, the heat, everything was off for 4 days. We lost all our food. We had to throw everything out. And it was so bad because we come, well, I'm going to speak for myself. I have become so dependent on cell phones. When there's no electricity, what do? When the battery went completely dead, I had to like go to the grocery store, and it made me think about homelessness and people that are less fortunate. Like I was literally sitting in the grocery store looking crazy, standing at their customer service desk with my cord charging my phone so that we could get back on the road and travel and I could have a little bit of juice. So, those are just things that I take for granted. And I don't know, I figured there might be other people. And so it's like that link that I have pinned up at the top really has some wonderful information in there, y'all. And like I was telling my husband, it's just us now. We're empty nesters. The kids are grown. But I think it's a good idea for us to even invest in a generator. Like right now, while there's no disaster going on, they're super expensive, but I think they're so worth it because I noticed that when we were fleeing last time, there were like maybe 2 to 3 houses on the block that they were lit up. Everything else was pitch black, but they were lit up because they had. Hi, Proud Mixed Child. Thank you so much for coming in. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you so much. I have to come over and visit you. Hey, Miss Fool Roller. Welcome in, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm just running my mouth, y'all. In a minute, I'm going to drop the link so y'all can come up and talk and share any tips or feedback or just give your thoughts and opinions on, what we can do to kind of better prepare ourselves in the event of a natural disaster or an emergency. Like, do you live in hurricane prone areas? And it's also my understanding that highly unusual. This was highly unusual for Texas. They weren't expecting this big windstorm to come through and, pulverize it like that. Hey, Uniquely Lavish, welcome in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, y'all. So that's pretty much the look. Let me put it back up here. Thought this made so much sense. Being prepared. Where is it at? No, not that one. Hey, Real Bizarre Foods, welcome in. It is so wonderful to see all of y'all, all my long time old family. I appreciate it. Okay, this one that I have up on the screen, y'all, it's probably too small to see, but really quick, and also that one that I have pinned up there, they have several printable checklists on there with the same information. So you want to make sure these like 3 day supply of your emergency non-perishable foods. They recommend like 3 gallons of water, particularly one for each family member. Food and water, of course, for your pets if you have pets, because I didn't even think about that. Like, we don't have any pets anymore, but I imagine with their pets, you don't want to be running off and fleeing a disaster and leave your pets behind. But your first aid kits, your prescription medications, eyeglasses if you wear eyeglasses. You want to have your personal hygiene items, soaps and toiletries, making sure you have cell phones and devices, a radio that is run on battery, jumper cables for your vehicle, stuff like that. Stuff you just don't think about. Extra linens, and then where do you store this kind of stuff? Like, what does it look like to get that natural disaster warning and be told? Because I remember I was at work, they sent everybody home early, and the state was urging everybody to evacuate at least 300 miles. And we had like a 2 hour window to do it. And I'm like, first of all, where the heck are we going in 2 hours? I was calling around trying to find a hotel reservation. All the hotels were booked up. And they claim they don't do price gouging, but I know they was price gouging because the hotels were outrageously expensive, and it was during the week. Hi, Alec Marcus. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all so much for coming. So, all this stuff was running through my mind. So I just wanted to have the conversation, see what you all recommend. What are y'all seeing? We can't really sit back and depend on the government elected officials to step in and really save us. I'm definitely not trying to turn this into a bash the government officials, but I just want to try to, look at what we can do to be more self sufficient and making sure that we're safe and making sure that our family's safe. The Ace Deuce family, welcome in. I haven't seen you in a long time either. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy to see all of you all because this is a very important topic. And I'm glad that you guys all agree because you guys wouldn't be here if you did. So thank you guys so very much for coming in. Um, Dollar Tree. I'm sure that most of these items we can pick up over time and it not break the bank. Like I said, Dollar Tree is my best friend. Um, Food, water, personal protective equipment. Do y'all know I found one of those plastic face shield masks that you can wear that covers your whole face? It's like a headband. I found them at the Dollar Tree. You see, I work a hospital here, and I just recently picked up some overtime shift last weekend working at the one of the local. Ooh, I almost ended the broadcast clicking the wrong y'all. I recently picked up an extra shift, two extra shifts of overtime working at one of the local mobile COVID drive-through. What do they call it? Testing site and vaccine site, and it's set up at a mall. So, they got all these cones and things out. There's no contact. People are literally pulling through, driving through, getting tested either with a nose swab or they're getting administered their first or second dose of the vaccine, right? So, when I saw those masks at the Dollar Tree, I loaded up because my husband was like, why are you going to go work at that? You know that? Why would you go do that? I was like, because that's overtime pay. And we trying to, his birthday's next month. So I usually try to do something big for him. So I was looking at the money, right? But anyway, I'm saying all that to say they had those. I should have brung it in here with me. The PPE, the protective personal equipment, is what it is, for $1, y'all. And it fits nice and comfortable. It's a headband, and you just pull it over your regular mask. So you got your band-aids in there, rubbing alcohol, your everything to put into a first aid kit, gauze, triple antibacterial ointment, everything to fill your first aid kit, tape, everything, gloves, everything. And so I thought about all this as I was seeing people come through. There was a couple of emergency situations where, people had adverse reactions and the medics had to be called. So, and then this situation in Texas, it just really got things clicking in my head that, Pandi girl, you ain't prepared. You not prepared for in the event that you have to run off and evacuate. Hi, Jennifer Miller. Thank you so much for being here. And just on GP, what if another hurricane comes? When we came back from that hotel, we didn't even stay our full reservation. We had spent all that money only for them to lose power. We were all the way up on like the fourth floor. We had to take the stairs all the way back down, lug all our luggage and everything back down because, of course, the elevator wasn't working. I was so mad. I'm like, well, we could have stayed home. So when we got back home, of course, the power was still out, but a tree had fell on one of our neighbor's house. So, and we have a lot of woods and stuff around us because we are in the country. But just thinking about our safety, y'all. So that is just it, y'all. That's it. That's the purpose for tonight's live stream. It's my way of bringing us together just to kind of make us really think. I know most of us. Hey, Big Brown Food Reviews, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Most of us are already well prepared. Y'all got your bags and everything lined up. Your girl Pandi is not prepared, but I'm working on it, and I'm sure I'm not alone. So, any tips or information, like I said, things you want to share or add to the conversation, please feel free. At this time, I am going to drop the link. So, if any of you all want to come up and talk about this particular subject, you can. Again, most of these things can be picked up at your local Dollar Tree or your local convenience store. They're very inexpensive. I am seriously looking at saving up to get a generator just in case we lose power again because that was outrageous. And just do my part to make sure that we're prepared in case of anything. Okay? So give me one moment, y'all. Let's see. Oh, I'm tired from work, y'all. Yes, yes, Miss Full Roller is listing all the important items that we would need. All right. So there y'all go. If I know you, and I've been seeing you and you conducting yourself respectfully in these YouTube streets, definitely feel free to hit that link and come on up and share your input to the conversation. Any tips or advice or information you want to share that you feel might add value to this conversation, now is the time. Now is the time. Let's see what you guys are saying. Proud Mixed Child, well, I have to go. Stay safe and blessed. Take care. Thank you so much, Proud Mixed Child, for being here. I appreciate you coming through. We'll see you next time. Jennifer Miller says, I'm ready. I got my bag in the closet with full emergency kit. Okay. You got lucky when they gave them out to seniors. I wish I could get the senior hookup. All right, let's see. Tracy Herbert said, I have a bag in my truck and change it every season. Good idea. Oh, yeah, a can opener. That is a good idea. That is a good idea. Let's see. I like what Miss Full Roller said about making sure you have your winter blankets, long underwear, sleeping bag, wool socks, hat, sweater on hand no matter where you are in the country. Right. Exactly. Exactly, Miss Full Roller. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Big Brown. Let's see. All right. You guys are definitely saying some good information. Oh, be the difference since you some. She is amazing. I did my I think that was my first ever interview over there the other night on Be the Difference. Hello World, her little weekly show that she has. So thank you so much. I'll be sure to thank both of you over. And let me see what Miss Forrella said. Miss Forrella said, unless you got serious coin, you are not going to be able to carry on as usual. Generator, it's not a bad idea for folks to start changing mindsets on how we live. Eh, Miss Forrella, you are so right about that because I have been looking at them. Them things are way above my pay grade. But you know what I'm saying? I would love to have one, even just a small one, for like when the power, say the power just goes out. Um, and we know it's gonna come back on soon. I don't think we could try to live off of it because I sure ain't got coin for the big one. But for a small one, just something to kind of light my house back up so we could pack up and see what we doing and kind of warm up before we head out or whatever. It would be nice to have one. I know some of these people around here had, obviously, I don't know what they had, but they had one because their homes, you could hear them running outside and you could smell the gas or whatever they was burning to keep them going. And every other house was like pitch black. Um, wait. uh-uh. For I ain't tripping off the wigs. The wigs will get left behind, baby. Hey, history. Welcome into history. Thank you so much for coming in. We're just chatting about emergency preparedness, a lot of all that's been going on, especially with what took place in Texas. Um, just revisiting, reviewing, and refreshing, making sure if you are one that has already had a bag on standby, going through your bag and making sure that, your batteries are good. I don't know how often you need to go in and change them. I'm assuming maybe once a year. Making sure you got two wigs in the bag. Jennifer, baby, if they tell us we got to bounce because it's a natural disaster coming, I ain't thinking about no wig. I'm gonna tell you, y'all gonna see Pandi in full natural, okay? Them puppies will get left. Watch those Van Life Chronicles. Oh, you know what, Swarthy Daisy? I always was intrigued by those particular videos. I bet you they have all kind of creative, crafty ways of surviving. Because they pretty much live out of the vans, right? Take your ticket. Wait, y'all. This is supposed to be a serious conversation. Y'all making me laugh now. I ain't thinking about no wig. My hair is thick enough. We'll see, my bag is packed. Yeah. Well, I don't even have a bag packed. And then I was wondering, like, so, like, what's the standard recommendation? They say 3 days worth of clothes, 3 days worth of food, perishable foods, and water. I feel like I don't even really know how to pack that light, but I guess I have to, like, really, you know, I got to do some adjusting. Because at this point, it's not about necessity, it's more about survival. I would be totally panicked if my power was to be out for 5 days, and the water. And then my children are grown. I can only imagine what the parents are going through with small children. You essentially need running water when you got small kids in the house. How are you going to wash them up? And if they're in diapers still, you definitely need to have some form of running water. And then when you go to the stores, it's like there's no wipes, there's barely anything. So now, when we're not dealing with a crisis and there's no disaster facing us, I think it is really imperative to start trying to prepare now. That's what I'm going to do. Hey, Patricia Crankfield, thank you so much for coming in. Oh, yeah, canned goods and peanut butter. That's a good idea, Jennifer Miller. I didn't even think about the peanut butter. Because, baby, I could live off of some peanut butter. Give me some peanut butter and some crackers, honey. I'll be in heaven. I would be in heaven. So this is awesome. This is awesome. You guys are coming up with all kind of wonderful suggestions. I really like the idea about a can opener, Jennifer, because the last time. What about MREs, Miss Full Roller? What are MREs? What are MREs? Do tell, Swarthy Daisy. This is why we're having this conversation, so we can learn. I'm just scrolling up to see if I missed anyone's comment. Working a lot, my friend, the Ace Deuce family. I understand. Trust me, I have been working a lot too. It's so hard to get back around. I be feeling bad because I'm like, oh my God, I be trying to support everybody and just come in for a few minutes if I can. And sometimes you just can't make it around to everybody. Oh, meals ready to eat. What? 5 years, Swarthy Daisy? What kind of meal is that? What kind of meal is it? That's interesting. Now I'm gonna have to research that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm smacking and chewing on my gum. I gotta have gum. I apologize. Try not to smack it. Meals ready to eat. Oh, astronaut. Okay, I got questions about that. High calorie. Also get those high calorie tablets for survival. So are the MREs? I'm gonna look on Amazon now. Y'all got me intrigued by that. Are those expensive or are they reasonably priced? That is so crazy. You said it lasts 5 years. You like and comment on replay for most? Yeah, I do the same thing, T History. T History, I actually saw you were live today when I was at work, but by the time I clicked on there, you had already ended it. So it must have been a quick live. When they first came out, oh my god, they only had two that were edible. Ooh. So are they not so great in taste? Is that what you're saying, Miss Full Roller? I feel like this. Oh, Swarthy says I have a friend, husband in the military. Okay. If you are actually without food and water and all that, honey, and hunger kicks in, I can imagine you would eat whatever. You might eat some grass. Maybe not grass, but hey, it can't be that bad. Uh oh, what did Primpus say? Primpus said, uh oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Let's see here. My biggest fear has always been not having electricity if you're sick and then it happened. So if you have any conditions, a generator is a lifesaver. Exactly, especially if you need electricity to say like run. Some people, what do you call those things? A sleep apnea machine. And I think those have to be plugged in. Now, maybe I haven't seen one in a while, but I know they used to have to be plugged in. Oxygen and stuff like that, I don't know that that has to be plugged in, but you're absolutely right about that, Primping. You just may need it. And then, like, if you got insulin or items that need to be refrigerated, a generator would be a lifesaver because it would help keep those items cold at least for a little bit of time. Now, those things can stay usable for a few days outside of a cool temperature, but not for very long. And those medications are very expensive, so you don't want them to go to waste. Oh, yeah, you're right. A nebulizer. You're right about that, Primpin. When my youngest son, was a baby, we used to have to give him nebulizer treatments, and we sure did have to have him plugged in. So you are so right about that. Miss Full Roller says, I've been out of the military for 27 years today, so I can't comment on how they taste. Yes, absolutely right, Jennifer Miller. 28 days in cool heat. I was going to say that. Most of your refrigerated medications are still usable outside of a refrigerated temperature for up to 28 days before they go bad. So a lot of people feel like, oh, you'll be surprised how many people call into the pharmacy. I accidentally left my insulin sitting out overnight. Can I still use it? Yes, you can. You can use it for up to 28 days outside of the cool tent. Oh, wow. Jennifer has a portable nebulizer. Okay, this is good to know. Really good to know. All right. Now, what did they taste like back then, Miss Full Roller? Swarthy says, I can imagine how gross they were. Listen, that's all the more reason to stock up on the non perishables. But what can you really get? Like, what can you really get? I know some people said peanut butter, canned goods, what, like What? Because most stuff in a can is going to be loaded with sodium. I imagine it's stuff that's probably not going to be the healthiest for us. And me personally, I try to stay away from the sodium packed stuff because your girl's already plus size. So I don't need nothing that's going to be adding no extra swole to my already voluptuous figure. You know what I'm saying? um, that was the thing that I ran into when we were evacuating the last time. It was like the only things really left in the store was junk food, the Vienna sausage, pork and beans, all the crap that I don't really like to eat because of the salt. I can look at some salt and I'm swelling up. Canned beans, they are low sodium variety available. Okay, yeah, you're right about that, Miss Florella. Good idea. Oh my God, Jennifer Miller, I cannot do protein shakes. And I think it's because I don't like milk, the thickness of it. I even have a hard time with smoothies just because of the thick consistency. So I'm trying to think ahead now. What are some things I can do and store aside? Nuts are good too. Now, how long could you keep nuts? Like, could you throw nuts into your emergency bag? And if so, how long would that last? Like, how long would you need to change those out? Like, once every 6 months? Once a year? I'm still floored about what he said about some food lasting 5 years. Like, what? I hate milk too, but gotta get the protein right. Yeah, I would probably like hold my breath and swallow it. Really? 1 year for nuts? This is really good information. I didn't know that. Okay. Now, on this list, y'all, let me bring it back up because I looked at this and I thought that might be a challenge for some. And when I say some, I'm including me. Where's it at? Was it this one? Or no, it was this one, I think. Oh, this is that little one that y'all can't really see, but okay, it says it recommends non perishable food, 3 days worth for each family member, up to 3 gallons of water, recommending, spacing the 1 gallon out per person, assuming you got 3 people. A first aid kit, of course, prescription meds, your personal hygiene items and toiletries, your devices. But what I thought about was under miscellaneous, it recommended cash emergency credit card. Now, I, for one, I am guilty. I am guilty, y'all. I have to really figure out a way. Like, what are y'all recommendations or tips on a credit card that you store away for emergency purposes? I was thinking about like one of those prepaid credit cards, but then, ooh, a small tint. Y'all got all the ideas. Y'all is prepared. Jennifer said, it's not like we stuck on Gilligan's Island. We might as well be, because we don't know. You eat nuts every day, so you would be rotating anyway. Okay. Okay, so my husband was saying on those prepaid cards, I guess they like take out a little bit each month or whatever, a fee or whatever. So it's not like you could really store one of them. I don't have a card that I just have for emergency use because unfortunately the cards that I have, I'm using them, spending on them, and I'm paying them off, and I'm spending on them and paying them off. But I can see the value in having a card, maybe set to the side with like maybe at least on a low end $250 to on a high end $500. That could probably, get you a couple days hotel, some gas, and some food on the road, for at least a couple days. But how does one go about doing it? Because most of us, and I'm speaking for me, who really has a lot of extra money? Who has extra money laying aside? This is why I've been finding it so important. I've been looking into all kind of financial literacy and just really ways to better budget my finances and stuff because God forbid something happens and everything goes down. That was the other thing. I don't know about y'all's areas, but when we had the hurricane here 2 years ago and the power grids were out, I'm assuming the power grids were out because all the gas stations were closing, saying they didn't have uh, gas. And almost every place we went to, I had no cash. I only had a card. Do you know those people could not accept card transactions? So we were like driving around trying to find ATMs or a grocery store that would let us like buy something and get cash back. It was so crazy and so inconvenient. So it's kind of sounding like cash would be the way to go. A small tent for tarps. I'm just looking to see what y'all said. Miss Fullroller said, but if there's a winter storm like in Texas, you are gonna be on Gilligan's Island in your home. Toilet paper. Moss? No, ma'am. Keep both on hand in the house. Okay, yeah. So maybe just trying to keep an open balance on one of your cards that you already have, or either going with a prepaid card or something. Something. That's these are just things to look at. And I'm hoping that anyone who may come in and catch the replay, I hope that you find all these tips and information useful because they are definitely putting some good information into the stream. I am still floored at the MREs. Is that what it was called? MREs? Because I had never heard of that. I'm definitely going to be researching that one. I want to know like what the cost is and if there's varieties and how bad they really are. So, yeah. Well, you guys have decided not to come on up and chat with me, and I understand it's late. I'm tired. Like I said, I went to work today, plus, I worked the last 2 weekends overtime out in the cold in the elements. So that kind of had me a little coffee. But because I found those shield face masks at the Dollar Tree, I felt that little bit of extra protection. And I will definitely be taking the tips and information from our conversation tonight, as well as the charts, and really just trying to make sure that I get my house in order in case we got to make a mad dash. You just never know. And I much rather, if a situation should pop up, be prepared. Where, hey, we can just grab our bags and go rather than we were so stressed out last time because we didn't have nothing. All we could literally do was grab a couple things out the refrigerator and, you know, throw some clothes together. We literally had to throw clothes together from out the drawers, from out the closet, because we didn't have nothing packed. And you would think, being in a place that's prone to hurricanes and prone to flooding, we would be better prepared. But I think too often we take things like this for granted. Oh, thank you so much, Swarthy Daisy. Thank you so much for the super chat, honey. I appreciate that so much. I gotta play my little super chat. Thank you, song. Thank you so much. We got a super chat.
Yeah,
We
this
got a
has
super
been
chat.
very
We got a
eye-opening.
super chat.
Well, you'll have to
Thank you, baby,
cash
for
it.
the super chat.
Thank you guys. Well, my little earpiece done died, so hopefully y'all can still hear me. I just can't hear me. But yeah, this has been a great conversation. I'm glad that you all decided to come out and spend a little bit of time with me and share in the conversation, share your feedback and input, give your input, and really take this thing more seriously. I know I am. Um, Trying to get back into the comments, which I'm sorry. There you go. Don't forget, y'all, if you're like me, oh, thank you, the little praise dance. I like it too. um, if you're like me and you are kind of like, oh my gosh, I really need to do a better job and get on top of this because you don't want to be making a scramble at the last minute. That link that is pinned at the top is a free nonprofit. I think it's a government site that has free printable checklist with pre-populated information, so you can kind of just go down and check off whether or not you got it. I know when I printed them off, it was that much easier for me to actually visually look at, okay, I need to go get this and this, and start getting our emergency preparedness kit together. So you guys, it's there for you. You simply click on it, print, and go. Um, I am so glad that we had this conversation. If you were impacted by any of these unconventional windstorms and inclement weather that's been going on throughout the country, I hope that you are safe and in a place where you can transition back to your norm safely and peacefully. I think most of the power is back on in Texas. I hope it is. And for the most part, I think they were the worst hit. Yeah, this was just an open conversation for us to kind of chit chat and kind of brainstorm, see what we needed to do to get back on track and make sure that we are prepared in the event that something like this should happen again. Because I know it really struck a chord for me. I mean, it was sad. I saw something on one of those news media channels where people had like icicles from the like ceiling light. It was like a chandelier type of thing, but it was icicles like on the inside of someone's home. So could you just imagine being in that cold of temperature that it's putting ice on the inside of your house? And this is not just one day. This is like 4 to 5 days. And then you have no running water. So you cannot really wash your face, brush your teeth, wash your hands, wash your body because you're trying to conserve the water probably to drink. It's just, oh, I was like, oh my god, I got to do better. I got to make sure we are straight. So yeah, that was the purpose of tonight's conversation. I am Pandi of Pandy's Hair Candy and More. I love to stress the and more because I know a lot of people do tend to get the title of the channel and say, oh, this is a hair channel, oh, and bypass it like, especially men. Well, she's a hair content creator. No, it's not just about hair. Of course, I do love hair. I talk about hair, but it's and more. I cover trending topics. Um, I cover international news, just common sense news. This is a common sense approach channel. There's stuff going on in the world right now where the weather is crazy, and guess what? It really directly or indirectly affects all of us. So this is why I was like, we need to talk about this. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out, because I feel like we can kind of bounce ideas off of one another and grow and do things, productively together. So, thank you all so much for spending your evening with me. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. What's today? Wednesday. I'm not going to come back on again. Normally, y'all, I would have Friday night drop the link here on the channel, which is where I kind of cross support small content creators on the platform. We kind of drop each other's links and kind of promote each other with watch time. But Miss Swarthy Daisy is going to be hosting a virtual conference this weekend, and my particular group is going to be a part of it. And I know that they are having a meet and greet on Friday night. So I have made the decision that I'm not going to host drop the link on that Friday night, because I want to be in attendance for the meet and greet. So I'll be putting that up here soon to let the people know that normally come on Fridays. I won't be here on Friday, but to come on over here to the virtual meet and greet. So I'm so looking forward to it. Y'all definitely be checking the community post, because I'll be putting information there on the virtual conference. It is going to be packed full of information and news that you can definitely use. Thank you guys all so very much for being here tonight. You all stay safe out there. Stay encouraged. And I will see you all in the next video. All right? Let me get us up out of here. Good night, y'all.
Thank you all so much for coming through and kicking it with your girl. I hope that you guys enjoyed yourself. And if you have not already, don't forget to blow dry on my like button. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? It is free 99 after all. Make sure you double tap on that notification bell so that you are notified each and every time I go live over here and when new content is added to the channel. Until next time, stay safe everybody, stay encouraged, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.